Do you like hot nerds? Do you like spaces where people are chronically off their phone? Or do you like archaic entertainment that allows for the public yearning for bloodshed? You're gonna love Ren Fairs then, my friend. Before we get into it, I know you were wondering, Madison, what are you wearing? This was my outfit for the St. Petersburg Renaissance Festival. I am a surf on laundry day. Take a good look at it. This is my basket. I made this from a Goodwill little bin, and I hot glue gunned a bunch of palm fronds and made it look like it was a wicker basket. And yes, it is functional. Right where you see that blue cloth is the flap, and yeah, take it in, okay? Everything else was thrifted except for this. This is what we call a big in, apparently. So I just got back from the St. Petersburg Renaissance Festival, and guys, it was pretty good. We'll get more into that in a hot second, but first, if you're new here and you're like, what the heck is a Renaissance Festival? I'm glad you asked! And I'm glad I have my laptop because I'm not memorizing anything for this video. Here's a quick little history lesson for you. The Renaissance Fair, Ren Faire, began in the United States in 1963 with the first official event in California, created by Phyllis Patterson as an educational project for her students. Inspired by European Renaissance period, 14th to 17th centuries, these fairs combine historical reenactments, fantasy, and entertainment, offering visitors a blend of medieval and Renaissance-themed performances, crafts, and food. My dear friends, that is a perfect way to say the Ren Faire, I don't know, it's awesome. It's been going on for a long time. We're coming up on the 100th year anniversary. We have like 40 years left. Okay, maybe we're past the 50th anniversary? I'm not gonna do math in this video. Now, my first Ren Faire was at the LA Renaissance Pleasure Fair last year, and it was so much fun. And I know, like, right now, in the year of our Lord and Christ Savior, 2025, it looks like the Pleasure Fair has been, like, overrun by people, which is, like, a shame on the production company because you should be limiting tickets or else the user experience is not gonna be so good. I don't know, make more dates? Clearly, the demand is there, so I feel like people could do that. But what do I know? I'm just a surf. So don't take my word for it, but it's just seeming that nowadays, especially with like TikTok making everything more, I don't know, cooler. And because the reality of hot nerds, okay, that's the reality. The reality of hot nerds on TikTok showing their experiences of Ren Faire makes it look like for everyone that this is the place where cool people go. Hey, guess what? It is. It's still like a nerdy place. Like, we'll talk about that in a hot second, but like, people are still acting, you know? People put on a little garb and dress, and people can come as characters, and like, you would be the weird one to not interact with them. You would be the weird one to like, kind of go like, what are you doing? It's a Renaissance fair, you know? It's like, guys, I'm gonna have to start gatekeeping, I'm afraid. But hopefully all the other Renaissance fairs just don't turn into, I don't know, Coachella. I think we're a good distance away from that, but it's not out of the question. And good news, there are a lot of new Renaissance fairs popping up all over the country because the demand is so high, or just because people like it. I don't know the reasons why exactly, but I do know there's new ones coming out every year, and one of these new ones happens to so be the St. Petersburg Renaissance Faire, woo, which I had the pleasure of going to just like a few days ago. So this is fresh, y'all. This is fresh out the oven, and I'm excited to share with the experience, the good, bad, the ugly, and what I'm excited to see next year. I wish I had a little flute. They sold bamboo flutes there, but I did not budget for that. Let's get into it. Number one, expectations. Now, there wasn't a lot of PR or like content about this Renaissance Fair because I didn't know this was the first year that they were doing this until 4 hours in. And someone was like, yeah, this is like the first year. I didn't go last year. I was like, what? Nani desu ka? Obviously, it's not like at a major level, but it was still pretty impressive, I will have to say, for being like the new kid on the block. I was going with my friend Audrey, which, guess what? It was her first time ever. This was her first Ren Faire experience, and she slayed, and she had so much fun. I'm so glad I went with her because, like, I don't know, my expectations really was to just have fun with my friends, have a little fun in the sun, and to see jousting, and have my person win, because in LA, my rider, my joust, my knighter, didn't win, and obviously I don't have control over that, but like, I need one victory under my belt right now. First impressions. So when we walked up to the gate, it was really cool far away. In pictures, it looked bigger. Famous last words, right? But it was a decent size, and it was like a nice little gate that was the opening, and we had to throw away our drinks, which I was like, okay, airport. I don't know, I just feel like if there's a water bottle situation, like I feel like if I bring a water bottle, it's gonna be understood that that's gonna last for maybe 1/8 of the day, and I'm gonna have to get more water. So like, why not give us a running start? That's just my 2 pence. But it was a cute little gate. They did a little bag inspection. Gates opened at 10. We got there right at like 10:10, 10:19, in between those 2 times. Quite honestly, not a lot of people, which was honestly good for us because we headed straight to archery. I'm like, I gotta get this done. This is one of the things on my list. Upon doing more research, I realized this is kind of like the standard throughout Ren Fairs, but it was toy archery, which like, fine, okay. It's new, so whatever, but I was really expecting it to be real archery, which, my bad. And I'll let you know how I know it was toy archery through ASMR. And then the lady who was running the archery center was really off her rocker, and I looked at Audrey and I said, we should go get some mead, huh? Like, we are behind schedule. Everything at the Ren Fair in LA was 20 bucks, and I was so excited. So excited to be in the Florida Renaissance Fair, which like everything is not too much cheaper. Like, it's Florida, right? But it's not LA. Tell me why. I had a little drink, this big. I'm not lying. This big, for an espresso martini at 10:30 a.m. for $18. I drank it. It burned. It did the job. That's Ren Faire. But in our saving grace, in the back there was a bunch of canned drinks, and they were like, what, $8 to $13? And they also worked very well. And they're delicious. Highly suggest anything that has that raspberry. They ran out of it before closing, which understandably, because it was really good. Speaking of drinks and food, the food was so good. I got an apera. Like this bit, I pronounced that wrong, I'm so sorry. Arepa for this big for $8. And it did the job. My friend got baklava and it was $8 too. This big did the job. Like, thank God for affordable and filling food at the Ren Fair. Heaven forbid I pay less than $10 for something to eat. I also stopped at the baked potato company. I forget the name, I'll put it here. I got their Jester baked potato, which is just like a baked potato with chili and mac and cheese. Oh, it was so good. I was satiated for hours, okay? But honestly, they had a really good food selection. I got a big dill pickle for $3. In this economy, hey, I would eat that all day. Food and drink vendors, 10 out of 10. I would skip the mead, personally. They do give you like free little samples of it, and I would just do that because, I don't know, maybe it's the cheapo in me, but I'd rather get a drink this big for $18. It's my fault. I could have said no, I don't have a willpower. It was early in the morning. After being with that person who was running archery, I was like, get me to the gates. Get me to the door. I need to go through. Vendors! The vendors were really cute. Honestly, your standard Renaissance Fair vendors. And here's the thing. I didn't talk about this yet, but the whole fair was on a park. There were no permanent structures. Understandably, first year, whatever. And listen, for food, I don't care if it's a trailer. I'm not really expecting a medieval ambiance when I get a hot dog. I would love to have the medieval ambiance or be immersed when I'm buying something, because it makes buying a sword all the more cooler if I'm in an ornate area. And they pulled through. Some people came in their own yurts, some people decked out their whole entire tent. It was really cool. I got some earrings that I can't show because I got it for somebody for their Christmas present. But they're gonna love it. But honestly, solid vendors. Audrey got some tea for her mom, and I was so close to buying Tiger's Eye stuff. Listen, I love Tiger's Eye because of that Bewitched movie. Oh, stop. It's not Bewitched. Oh my gosh. Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman. Dun, dun, na, 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 na. Oh, Practical Magic. I love Tiger's Eye because of Practical Magic. That one scene where Nicole Kidman is like, oh, the Tiger's Eye, we need it. And anywho, and the entertainment was really good. Like, really good. And also, like, the entertainment people, they have to like walk around the fairgrounds to like get people to come to their stage. They have their little signs and whatnot. And all their interactions were so wholesome. I didn't get to see as much as I wanted to. Next year, I'll come to see it. It'll be a lot of fun. Jousting was cool, and guess what? We won! So, 1 out of 2, what can I say? Hopefully next year, my side wins again. The queen was there, of course. Hey, queen. One of her TikToks came up on my For You page, and I was like, my queen! The only thing I wish they did was have a mic system, because that's what they had in LA, and not to be like, but if people were talking behind you, you couldn't hear the performers. And the first one, there was 2 shows, a 1 o'clock show and a 5 p.m. show. 1 o'clock show, people knew to like zip it, but I think at 5, people were like a lot more loosey-goosey. End of the day, you know, we're just relaxing, recapping. I know, I'm guilty of that too. But the people around me were talking, and even though other people and myself were kind of like looking at them to try to signal like, shush, they were yapping up a storm, and I did not know what was happening on the court. And honestly, even with a microphone, you can't really understand it sometimes if it's not like a good system. Because I remember sometimes in the jousting show in LA, it would kind of be like, I'm like, yeah? Huh? So I don't know. You can't win them all. And also, here's like the most underrated thing. Okay, the most underrated thing were the people. We met so many wonderful, creative, open people at the Renaissance Fair. Do I remember their names? No, but like there was this one girl who was in a Christine Daae outfit, and another guy that we were in line who was talking about all these other Florida Renaissance fairs. We met this other girl with her lovely mom at lunch, and there was just like this great vibe, which honestly, I'm being so serious, I have not experienced this vibe in Florida. Someone born and raised, okay? Someone born and raised. I have not experienced this type of freeness and judge-free zone in Florida ever. And I think that was really magical. Like, how do I say this? The Ren Faire allows, which I don't understand why, it just feels so much more freer to talk to people at Ren Fairs. Now, given there was hardly anyone was on their phone too. Like, I was looking around and I would talk to my friend, I was like, hey, there's not a phone in sight. This is the way life should be. But you know, people could be mean, people could be kind of snippy or whatever, but that wasn't the case. Everyone was so nice. And it's like, why? How can we get areas to feel more like this? There's always this like layer of understanding that anyone could talk to you at any time. It's not gonna be cringe, and it's not gonna be like, what do you want? And it's gonna be coming from a point of play, which is so much fun. It's just improv. I don't know, guys, it's so good. And listen, St. Petersburg Fair, they did an amazing job. The guy who plays Shakespeare did an amazing job of like, I don't know, interacting with people. Especially at the end of the fair, there was this big tent that they like turned into a pub for the last scene. I don't know if they call it that. But the last part of the day, all the characters of the Ren Faire kind of got together under this one tent, and they just did a round of songs, and they even had their own original song that kind of made me emo, because it was just like, we'll meet again, we'll meet again, but like Renaissance version. It was really good. Would I go to the St. Petersburg Renaissance Fair again? Yes I would, and I think it's gonna get better every single year. I can't really say what's going on behind the scenes, I don't know, but as a patron, as someone who came and enjoyed the festivities, I had a blast. I had a blast and a half. Were there cute guys there? Yes. Did I talk to them? No. That's what you do in Renaissance Fair. You see cute people and you avoid them. Unless they come up to you, which, you know, no one did, so I'll cry about it later. If anyone went to the Renaissance Fair in St. Petersburg, please let me know your experiences down below, or just like any other Renaissance thing that people should know. Tip, how to enjoy it, whatever. And me and my friend lived 2 hours away from St. Petersburg, and we were glowing the whole way home. We were like, man, that was a really good day. It was a really good day. And I think it was just because, you know, you got to talk to people. Shocker, right? Getting to be in community with people. Getting to dress up, seeing the activities, seeing people's real skill. Now that's really cool. Like flipping and jousting and, it's so cool. People coming up to us and giving us trinkets, like, what? It's so nice. Anyways, that's my experience of the St. Petersburg Renaissance Festival. Maybe I'll see you guys next year, but until then, I'm gonna get out of this outfit because I have not watched it yet. And it has a lot of dirt on it. Bye!